Everybody. That's right. You got that right.
Man.
How are you, Dave?
Wonderful.
What's your middle name?
My middle name? I have several. Kari Weber.
Kari Weber.
Yeah, that's my middle name. I have two middle names.
That's nice. I was hoping my middle name is Michael, and I thought, wow, this would be great if your middle name was Michael, or if my name was Dave Kari Weber Letterman.
This is the weirdest start to an interview ever, by the way. And I never knew that your middle name was Michael.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't know how I'm going to use this information.
Yeah.
I'll think of something.
Now, wait a minute. You came here with the expectation of leaving with useful information? That's your first mistake, my friend.
You never know. You never know when it comes.
Now, let's talk about this Radio City Music Hall gig. You've been there once before, maybe other times, but at least once before, right?
Yeah. Well,
when was that?
When I was maybe 19, I opened for Aretha Franklin at Radio City.
Wow. 19.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I'm sure she didn't choose me herself. But it was great. It was great. I always want to go back as a headliner. So.
Oh, my God. But 19, and like when I was 19, I had a paper route. But looking back on it, were you prepared at 19 for that kind of a gig?
Yeah, it was 15 minutes. I had about 30 minutes then. Mm-hmm. You know, I was prepared enough.
Yeah.
I mean, was I as good as Aretha Franklin? No.
Well, no.
But my job is just to get people used to looking at the stage. I'm the opening act.
Yeah.
It mattered to me if I did good, but nobody really cared.
Is this... Now, at a big gig like this, they have a rehearsal? Do they have a walkthrough? Do they have like a sound checks and that kind of thing?
I don't know. I imagine there'll be a sound check. You know, you can either go or send a guy.
Right. But when you were 19, did you go for a sound check?
Well, I skipped it, which was a terrible mistake.
That was a mistake.
It was a terrible mistake. I skipped the sound check, and nobody could hear me for the first 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. But you know what it is, Dave? You've been a stand-up for many years. And you know, you probably get that question when people say, oh, my God, you're a comedian. Well, what happens if you go out there and you tell your jokes and no one laughs? Mm-hmm. Nothing happens. You get paid the same. You're not going to die. Nothing bad happens. So I keep it all in perspective. It's not the...
Well, good for you to keep it in perspective, because it's something that I was never able to keep in perspective. And believe me, I have been on more bombing runs than the Enola Gay.
But I'm of the belief that the best comedians bomb hard. When they bomb hard. You take chances. Sometimes you fall flat, sometimes you do great. Mm-hmm. I think that's my favorite comedians did that.
Now, in having this discussion not so very long ago with Jerry Seinfeld, he said that when he's in a situation where he senses that things are not going his way is when all he does is rely on the material. He doesn't worry about anything else. He just goes right on with his material, and sooner or later he will prevail. Do you have that experience?
Not at all. No.
Oh.
No.
We'll be right back with Dave Chappelle and Chappelle. Radio City Music Hall. We haven't seen you in 10 years. And tell us what you've done. I believe this is correct. Since the last time I saw you, you now have 2 additional kids. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a baby-making machine, Dave.
Congratulations.
That's how I like to chill.
How old are the kids now?
My youngest is 5. She has a brother that's 11 and a brother that's 13.
11 and 13. Tell me about 11 and 13. What is that? Is that good? Is it trouble? Can you smell trouble from here? What are we looking at?
Yeah, you know, you see yourself in your kids.
Yeah.
So the boys, I know what they're up to. Like when my son's like, I'm going to my room. I'm like, yeah, I bet you. I know what you're gonna do up there. But maybe it's not as bad as when I was. I don't know what he's doing up there, you know.
But you have a hunch.
I have a hunch. I got my suspicions.
Mm-hmm. And the little girl, how's she doing?
She's actually backstage.
That's nice.
She's couldn't find a setup.
Yeah.
It's 4 in the afternoon. It's a little hard, you know. I think that the part of me that's a comedian is reflected the most in her.
Really?
Yeah, whatever that thing is that makes a guy funny or want that kind of attention, she's got that more than her brothers. They all have it, but she's the next Jedi.
Not knowing anything about this, that's a good thing for a little girl, right? A little girl, this is a nice thing, right?
So far, yeah. You know how it is. It starts out cute, and then by the time you're a teenager, it gets a little, you know, it can be wild. I don't know what she's going to say.
Yeah.
She's her own person, though. It's interesting to see someone come out.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
5 years into it, she's already doing her own thing.
Now, you had the Dave Chappelle show at Comedy Central, and then you didn't have the Dave Chappelle show at Comedy Central. And in comedy, the reason most people have a show and then don't have a show is because they say, well, we don't want you to have a show anymore. But that wasn't the case here. The case here was I guess you said, I don't want your show anymore, and you took a hike.
It's worse
really
than
took
that.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Well, now, are you tired of talking about it? It's 10 years, of course you're tired of talking about it.
I don't talk about it. It's like, you know, I just, you know. Listen, here it is. Technically, I never quit. I'm 7 years late for work.
Boy, are you going to be in trouble when you go back.
Well, you know, no, it's like getting divorced in the 50s. People didn't go to divorce court. They just look at their wife like, baby, I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes. I'll be right back. And then they just leave with the clothes on their back and make a go of it.
Yeah.
There wasn't even internet back then. You could move 11 miles away and have a whole new life.
11 miles.
Yeah,
that's all it would take.
I've never seen her again. Just stop going to the same places. Is this yours or mine?
It's yours.
Wouldn't that be weird if I drank your water?
Not at all. But so there was a wild speculation, and is there anything that we don't know that we should know, or something we do know that we shouldn't know?
Huh?
Let's just say I'm you, and 10 years ago I don't one day go to work. And
you just stopped coming.
I stopped coming to work, and that's what you did. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you went to South Africa. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
And you lived in South Africa for an extended period of time.
Well, no, I was there for 2 weeks. I mean, you know what I mean. There's not too many good hiding places left in America.
But am I right about this? There was great mystery about this strategy on your part, was there not?
I don't know. Because when it was all over the media, I was gone. And then if you're the guy, nobody really says anything to you.
Right.
So I don't know if it was mysterious or not mysterious. It was like living in the corner of perception and reality. You know what I mean? And like, it's a weird place to be. When everyone thought Wesley Snipes was in jail, I saw him at a party.
That's right. But here's what I remember about it. Comedy Central, your former, that's where the show was. The show had been on the air 2 years, maybe 3 years?
2 years. We were shooting our third season.
And there's a negotiation, a renegotiation, and they said, here, we're going to guarantee you an enormous sum of money to continue doing the show because it's so successful. And then, apparently you agreed to it, and then where did he go? The show stopped and never came back. And like you said, 7 years later, you're just late for work. So what a decision was made. You made a decision.
Oh, yeah, I made a series of decisions.
Do you regret saying, I don't want this enormous sum of money?
Well, okay, look, Dave. It's very hard to go through something like this because no one's really done it before. So there's not too many people that don't think I'm crazy, right? So I look at it like this. I'm at a restaurant with my wife. It's a nice restaurant. We're eating dinner. I look across the room. I say, you see this guy over here across the room? He has $100 million. And we're eating the same entree. So, okay, fine. I don't have $50 million or whatever it was. But say I have $10 million in the bank. The difference in lifestyle is minuscule. The only difference between having $10 million and $50 million is an astounding $40 million. Of course, I would like to have that money.
You're right. It's $40 million is the difference.
Yeah, you know, because when you quit, like my friends will try and make me feel better, but no one's been through that, so they'll say not stupid stuff. It's nice, but they'll be like, well, you know what, Dave? At the end of the day, you still have your integrity. Yeah, it's great. I'll go home and make the kids some integrity sandwiches. It makes no sense at all. It's like there's nothing anyone can say. It's just you do what you feel like you need to do.
Right. Well, okay. Well, there you go. That's the answer. And how do you feel with doing what you felt you needed to do?
The very complicated answer. Because I've felt a variety of ways in the last 10 years. You know, whenever there's something that I'd like to have, that I could have afforded, that I can't now afford, well, then I'm upset about it. But then when I see a guy going to a job that's time-consuming and he doesn't have the free time to do the things that I get to do, then I'd feel good about it.
But overall, in your heart, in everyone's heart, we know money is not the answer or the solution.
Money is the fuel for choices. Money gives me choices. So that's not nothing. It's something. I can choose when I want my kids to go to school. I can choose what I want to eat in a given day. It's not the end, but it's not the end-all, be-all. There are other things in my life that I did not purchase with money that are very valuable to me.
That's right. And let's just say you had the $40 million. Who's to say you would be a happier or better person?
I think I might be a happier person. I don't know. There's no way of knowing. But you know, sometimes I listen to a Jay-Z record and it starts making me feel bad about some of the choices I make. This guy's had more fun on 2 songs than I've had in the last 11 years.
But who among us doesn't make choices we have regrets about?
All of us do.
All of us do, yeah. Now, tell me about the Radio City Hall gig. I was told that the demand was so great that more dates have been added in addition to the ones that I mentioned. Am I right about that? There's been one added for June 23rd now.
That's actually going on sale at midnight.
At midnight. And
I held that show. It wasn't just about the man. There was an artist that I really wanted to work with. You know, I'm a big fan of the hip-hop music. It is the 20th anniversary of arguably one of the best hip-hop albums ever made. That album is Illmatic. That artist is Nas. So I am very lucky to be able to say that I'll be playing Monday the 23rd at Radio City Music Hall with Nas, 45-piece orchestra.
Wow.
It's going to be
45-piece orchestra in Radio City Music Hall.
It's going to be good.
Okay, so we got June 18th through the 22nd. And now the other show goes on sale tonight. Well, that would be June 23rd. Then we have shows June 24th through the 26th. You're going to be a very busy man.
I'm going to love every minute of it, man. And I really appreciate doing this show.
Well, it's great to see you again.
I'm happy to see you on television and off television.
I feel the same about you.
Much respect to you, David.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Dave Chappelle, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back.